Our first story of miraculous fate isn't about a person, it's about a dog. And if you don't believe that old saying that what goes around comes around, you're about to meet the living, four-legged proof. In May of 1997, a report of gunshots fired sent Buffalo, New York policeman Ron Clark and his partner to the home of a known drug dealer.
Upon arrival to the scene, we surrounded the house that the suspect had ran into. I noticed that nobody was along the rear on the south side of the house, so I hopped the fence and just waited at the rear of the door, make sure nobody tried to escape out the back of the house or dump any weapons out the rear of the house. The officers inside the house, once they had gained entry, had to put the suspect under arrest and secure the weapon in question, and were looking for other weapons.
As Officer Clark searched the periphery, he made a frightening discovery.
There was an abandoned refrigerator sitting by the rear door, and I just pulled open the door, and I found a plastic garbage bag on the top shelf. I don't know why, I poked it with my flashlight, and the bag started moving.
He immediately radioed his partner, James Hoskins.
Jim, come out back.
Clear run. So I went to the backyard to assist him. And he opened the refrigerator, showed me that the bag was moving. It was obviously something alive.
My worst fear was that there was a baby or something horrible inside.
But neither of them were prepared for what they were about to see.
This brindle puppy fell out of the bag. He was very bad shape. He was hypothermic, all chewed up, bloody. He just didn't look like he had much time left.
He hadn't been fed in a while, we could tell. You could see his ribs.
I honestly don't know how long he'd been in the bag, but it was tight shut. He had no oxygen. It was cold out that evening.
We thought if we didn't get it to a hospital in a short time, he wasn't going to make it.
The puppy was immediately transported to a local animal clinic where its condition remained critical. It was suspected that the puppy had been used as bait in pit bull fights in order to train the dogs to the taste of blood. Over the next 2 weeks, Officers Clark and Hoskins continued to monitor the puppy's progress.
And once we found out that they were able to save his life, we were very happy about that.
It's a good feeling. You know, not everything is bad on this job. It makes us feel good that we're able to play a part in saving the life of the little puppy.
The puppy was moved to the local chapter of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. In memory of his ordeal inside the refrigerator, he was given the name Popsicle. SPCA Director Gina Browning watched as Popsicle flourished.
Sometimes there are things that happen to the animal and that affects the animal throughout its lifetime. Popsicle, however, came out of that kind of quickly, and just within a couple weeks, he was a different dog. He was responding to people. His tail was wagging constantly, won the hearts of every single staff member here at the SPCA.
But when Popsicle was finally put up for adoption, people were too disturbed by the pit bull breed's bad reputation to give him a home. As the months passed and the situation became more hopeless, a staff member came up with another idea.
She grew to love this dog. She saw the people walking past his kennel, and it was heartbreaking for her. She, in turn, went to the kennel director and said, please, 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 can you test this dog for customs? I know he's a pit bull, but maybe he might do something. Maybe he might pass the test.
U.S. Customs offered a training program for drug-sniffing dogs. If Popsicle could pass the test, he would be given a new home and a new life. But to qualify, he would have to go through an intensive selection process. Of the 500 dogs tested over the last 3 years, only 4 had made the cut. But Popsicle had overcome bigger odds than that.
They call us and they say, guess what? Popsicle passed. He has passed with flying colors. Popsicle, I think, passed with doggy honors, if you want to call it that.
The news of Popsicle's success was bittersweet for the SPCA staff.
Popsicle had been here for so long, so it was very sad. A lot of the volunteers that had walked him came to see him leave. All of the staff went out to say goodbye to him and watch him go, and it was emotional. There were a lot of tears that day.
Behind it, Pops.
After 3 months of intensive training, Popsicle was assigned to duty on the southern border at Hidalgo, Texas.
Good boy.
It was such an amazing story because now here's this dog that was the victim of animal abuse, animal cruelty. He was hanging around with a lot of bad guys. Well, now he is going to go fight back. And here's his chance to fight back for the country and get back at these bad guys.
Find it?
And just 2 months after Popsicle started his new job, he got his revenge. Officer James Wilder explains.
The Drug Enforcement Agency had this vehicle. They had very strong suspicions that it did contain narcotics. They requested Popsicle to examine the vehicle, and Popsicle alerted to the vehicle. Subsequent search of the truck itself revealed 3,075 pounds of cocaine. That's millions of dollars of cocaine. Street value. We have all the technology for finding drugs, but when we look at this one creature, we don't even compare.
Find it.
This creature, with what Mother Nature gave it, can do things that you and I could never even begin to think of.
Good dog.
And it's all at the tip of his nose.
Popsicle's keen sense of smell turned him into an overnight sensation.
Popsicle was awarded what we call a significant seizure award by the Commissioner of Customs for his involvement in that seizure. Very nice, looks very good on the dog's record.
News of Popsicle's success soon reached Officer Clark back in Buffalo, New York, and in his heart he knew that justice had finally been served.
Sometimes life itself is a better story than what anybody can conceive, and this is one of those cases, I believe.
And the moral to the story was very simple. It was a drug dealer who had abused the little puppy Officer Clark found that night, and it was a drug smuggling cartel that Popsicle had eventually helped to bring down.
Where is it, Pops?
I don't think a Hollywood writer could come up with anything better.
Popsicle, come.
Today, Popsicle continues to fight the good fight against crime with his handler Rudy Carr in Roma, Texas, port of entry.
Pop, find it. It's really a miracle that he's even alive, and it's more of a miracle that he's doing so well and working and getting back at the bad guys who, mistreated him.
You're the man, Pops. You are the man.
I look forward to seeing him every day, and when he gets to the time of retirement, I hope I can take him home and just pamper him whatever he wants, because he deserves it. After what he's been through,